is Namsa here at Nkosi Talk Shows. Find your own voice, lead from within. I hope you guys are okay. If it is your first time here at Nkosi Talk Shows, my name is Nomsa Clara Mnge, and I help my audience here at Nkosi Talk Shows. We help our audience find their own voice, lead from within. Whether is it in relationship, Hope Spring Eternal Introduction Agency is a matchmaking introduction dating service. And Gossip Talk Shows, this is where guys, relationship for a relationship to work, you have to work on every area of your life. Because if there is part of any part of area of your life that you have not worked on, that can affect your relationship. So today's topic is when love feels like a business contract. Nowadays, people are using love as a contract. When love starts to feel like a business contract, it's usually because the relationship has drifted from the heart into a ledger. Needs become invoices. Affection becomes currency. And every act has expected return. It's very, very, very painful nowadays what love has become. The signs are subtitled, score-keeping, weaponizing favors, rigid feedback, and a constant fear of defaulting on expectations. Beneath the pattern often lies attachment wounds. Like I said before, what we do at Nkosi Talk Shows, if you have any part of your area where the wounds are not healed, it can affect your relationship. Culture scripts that equate work with productivity, money, stress, and exhausting nervous system, trying to stay safe by controlling the outcomes. So today's topic, guys, being with me today, I'm going to help you move from transactional relating to a covenant of care. So when the pastors, when they get ordained, when they get anointed, they make a covenant of love with God, because God's love is unending. So today we're going to relate to that. A living heart-centered agreement where love means dignity, where love and maturity is flourishing are the bottom line. So you will be able to map the invisible terms and conditions, name the forces shaping them, and build a ritual of self and repair, and practically sourceful and deeply strategies. When it comes to relationship, you need to have ritual. You need to have strategies. My ritual is my prayer life, guys. Having strategy in a relationship is started by my headlines is unconditional love. My husband, I have to give my husband unconditional love. My man gets unconditional love. And so through this video, we'll be able to work each step. Eight steps shows that why it matters, why the words that we use matter. If there's harm or abuse, seek trusted support. Convert love never requires self-erasure or enduring damage. So step number one, guys, name the contract. Why are you entering love? What's there? What is in it for you? Is it for love or is it for something else? Why is this relationship matter? So you can transform what you can see to what you want in your life. So sometimes people they transform pain into their lives. There are some people, Too many people who are in a relationship that is full of pain, not joy. Relationship is meant to be about joy. So when a relationship is about joy, guys, every person is free in that relationship. So try this for maybe for 1 week. Each partner, like they have to privately note moment that feels like pro quo, scorekeeping, when you feel like your partner is scorekeeping. Because the reason why people keep scores, guys, the people don't understand the power of love and the power of gratitude or conditional affection. So if you feel that, write down, then compare list with curiosity, not judgment. Write down, not judge your spouse. Words you can use like when dinner become a trade for intimacy. Some people will be like, okay, I need to cook a lovely, beautiful dinner today, trading for intimacy. It feels like we were negotiating, not connecting. I want to understand what we are both needing. But when love becomes natural, when a woman loves her husband, when the husband loves a woman, she takes a woman for a meal out for a meal, expecting nothing in return. When a man loves his family, when you have children, you do everything for your children, guys. You have to look at the love that you have for your children. It has to be the same love that you have for your husband or for your wife, not as a trade, like to see it as a trade. Like now I'm going to cook a beautiful meal, and in return, my husband intimacy, we're gonna have sex. My husband has to notice me. He has to have sex. As a man, you have to know your wife's needs. As a woman, you have to know your husband's need. So you don't need, because when you get married, that intimacy is part of the marriage, is part of the two covenant, the two people that are making a covenant. So you have to make love and joy, love and grace. So you don't have your wife, it does not have to trade for a beautiful meal. They don't have to trade to go and spend lingerie for maybe 200 $1,000 or £1,000 for you to notice them. They don't have to do that because that is your wife. They can wear it for you because you and your, as a wife or as a husband, you say, okay, let's go shopping. Your wife has needs, her husband has needs. So you go shopping naturally to say, okay, I want to spoil my wife. I want to spoil my husband. Let's go for a meal or let's go shopping. You shop for your wife. You expect nothing in return. That love is natural. You don't expect it for her to give you something in return. But nowadays, is everything is trading. Is trading. I do this, my husband is going to have to give me that. I do this for my wife is gonna have to do that. I will do this for our children, and my husband he has to do that. He has to notice me, he has to do this. It takes the fun away, guys. Life is about fun, is about these two people that made a covenant. That they love each other and they'll be together for eternity. You know, when you love someone, love is natural. Truly, truly, truly natural. Um, I tell you, when I was in South Africa, I dated this guy. Um, he used to go out and he would buy beautiful clothes. That's where I learned how to. My mom, she's a fashion designer, so I dated this guy as well, and they taught me how to. It didn't teach me how to dress, but this is where I understood What does it mean when you love someone? And I sat down one day, I said, can I ask you something? And he said, yes. And I said, how come you buy clothes for me, but you don't know my size? You didn't know my size, but he will go to the shop, he will see the shape of the dress, he'll pick it up. When he brings that top, he brings that dress, I wear it, it looks so beautiful. The shoes, look at my leg, my feet, and he'll bring the shoes. And I've never ever dated a guy like him. Never ever. That's what love is, guys. And this is when I understood. When I came to United Kingdom, that's when I understood. When someone truly, truly loves you, what does it truly, truly mean? Because it's like there was no trade. For me, there was no trade. I didn't have to trade anything. To him, it was like, my beautiful girl deserves to have this. So I'm going to get this. So one day I said, you don't know my size. So I'm confused here. So how said, Nomsa, when you're naked, I look at your body, I look at the body of your shape, I examine everything about your body. When I go out, I know this is gonna be perfect for you. And that was the truth. It was perfect. So love is not a trade, guys. It's not a business contract. When you when two people meet, by the time they divorce, sometimes the relationship don't work because of that person, they don't work because we grow, people change and things like that, or sometimes because people don't have the time to actually stop and get to know each other. Everyone is trying to build an empire, everyone is trying to do that, they're all trying to build to bring money when they bring the money, but these two people that they are trying to please, they don't stop and actually get to know each other. So sometimes the relationship it doesn't work. By the time these two people, the relationship ends, they are all broken, depression, anxiety. The man is going into depression, anxiety. The woman is going into depression, anxiety, because it was never all about caring about each other. It's a contract, it's a business contract. When I end this relationship, I am going to take you for what you have. I'm going to take everything what you have because of my entitlement. So if I have kids, two kids, I have two girls, I have to calculate how much the man has to give it to me in order for me to live a very, very comfortable life. My entitlement. I'm entitled for this. But guys, when I was splitting up with my ex, that was 10 years ago, Hope's dad. I was at work once and then I said, that was not 10 years ago, that was maybe 15 years ago. Hope was 5, actually. That was maybe 12. When was it? She's 18 now, so that means it was 15 years ago. When I mentioned that my workplace, my colleagues turned around and said to make sure you take him for everything. Guys, I stopped talking about my relationship because I couldn't understand why, if I love someone, why do I have to take them for everything? So I stopped because everyone that I was talking to, the advice that I was getting is to make sure I live in penniless. And me, I was like, what now? Because me, I didn't know that love is a business. But because I have a child with that man, for me, I felt that I didn't have to do that. If I needed a comfortable life, I have to work for myself. As long my daughter gets support, all I had to do is to make sure my daughter goes to a private school. That's all. That one was not negotiable. I had to make sure that my daughter goes to a private school, and once she goes to a private school, that is her future, not me taking him for everything. So I couldn't understand. I got confused. I had to stop talking to people and go and seek help from the therapist. Because when you talk to people, you want them to comfort you, you want them to listen. But the advice that I was getting, and I was getting taken for everything. So I had to go and pay money to a psychologist and just stay there until my wounds were healed. So I had to stay with a psychologist. Anything, questions that I had, if I need to talk to, I know that I'm paying her. She's not going to tell me a different, like, to take him for everything. She's going to direct, she's going to listen. So she became my buddy until the divorce, until everything was over in my heart, because you have to go through healing. So I had to go through a psychologist. I went through 5 psychologists, but I couldn't talk to my friends. I couldn't talk to my colleagues because I couldn't understand. So why sometimes people treat marriages as a contract? Because I understood that this is the father of my child. And also when you talk about bloodline, a family tree. So when you go to the family tree, that man is there on your family tree as the father of your child. So that means I cannot defile my husband. I'm just sharing this with you guys so you know how the bloodline works. If you have a child with someone and you fight them, that they are in your family tree in the realm of the spirit, or you go online, you check your family tree, the name appears that Nomsa had a child, her child is this, her surname, her daughter's surname is this, who is the father, that family tree stays there. So it can affect my children later on. That cycle, if I fight their father, it can affect the cycle. It can appear to my children where they will end up in that same cycle as well. So for me, that's why I don't do those kind of things, fighting people. I have to think about how is this going to impact my grandchildren? How is it going to impact their children, the other generation, the 5th generation. So it's really, really, really important. When you get married to someone, I can understand the boyfriends, but when you get married to someone, or when you have a child, even if you are not married, when you have a child, that person stays, whether we like it or not, they are in the birth certificate. They stay in the family tree. The family tree, whether you're married or you're not married to someone, the family tree remains there. So when now people are checking the information of, okay, I'm looking for my relatives, or Nomsa is my relatives. This is Nomsa. Nomsa had a child. Her daughter, she's called this, and her father is called this. And that can affect the children. So people don't understand that when you actually destroy the father of your child, you're destroying your children. So marriage is not a contract. You do not use the kids against their mother. You do not use the kids against their father. because a father has the right to have to see their child. As long as they are not abusive, guys, as long the mother is not abusive, every party has has a authority to see, to spend time with their children. But sometimes people, when we are in love, so I can get angry with the father of my children and say, why did you leave me? Or why did this relationship, just because the anger? Because if you don't understand that, sometimes the relationship, they don't work because people are wounded. People are wounded. It does not mean that it's someone else's fault. When you come from a divorced family, parents, that can affect. So if you are coming from divorced parents, you then have to make a vow that whatever happened to my parents, it will not repeat itself in my own life. When you are aware and you are in the present moment, not sleeping, then you are able to fight every battle that is being brought to you. So that's why marriage is not a business. But nowadays, guys, relationship is business. But what is in it for me? If I'm going out now, going on a date, a man is talking. While he's talking, I am qualifying him. How much does he earn a month, per year? Am I going to benefit in this relationship? How many degrees does he have? Does he hold? Okay, maybe he's got 5 degrees or 4 degrees, or maybe he's got PhDs. Okay, then I have to tick. Oh, that will do. He's got one PhD. Okay, he's got 1 degree. Okay, he's got, oh, he hasn't got a degree, but he's a millionaire. That will do. You can give me something, I can gain something out of it. It's no longer about love anymore. And I'm sorry to say this, you may find like maybe 10% of people nowadays are the ones who are looking for love. The rest, they are looking for what's in it for me. And even if they are not looking for what's in it for me, they are looking for love. Because they are blinded, they don't have skills in a relationship. That relationship becomes a contract. So imagine when the needs are not fulfilled. If I go to work, I get a contract. And then the company promise, this is how much we're going to pay you per year. These are the benefits that you're going to get through the package when you're getting paid. So if I'm feeling that, you know what, my needs are not fulfilled, this contract of business in my relationship with my spouse is not fulfilled, I want out. And that's why people blindness, they divorce because they have expectations that if I am going to enter this relationship, although I have kids or no kids, I expect 50-50 of bills. You can't expect a woman to, to carry your children for 9 months and then you expect 50-50. Work, I wanted to go back full time, and the woman is like a zombie, the man is like a zombie. One of you has to look after the children. It doesn't have to be like that. So you don't have to treat love as a business contract. But nowadays, unknowingly, I'm not saying these people, they know, unknowingly they treat love as a business contract. So it's important, guys, to actually map your unspoken TNCs, terms and conditions. Make sure that you are upfront with your terms and conditions in a relationship. Why this matter? Unspoken rules govern most conflict, making the implicit covenant landmines into shared knowledge. Try this each like draft a current relationship under headings, put time, money, and chores. What are your expectations from your husband? Maybe you have kids, you take your children, maybe your husband work, you take your children, you work as well. Like myself, I work. And then I have to take my children to the activities. Um, I don't hire a child minder because I try to work in the hours to fit my daughter. I don't want someone else to raise my child because that's my child. I gave birth to that child. I wanted to have that child. So I'm not gonna let someone raise my child. So I have to take responsibilities. I do that in all my children. My older daughter left for university a month ago. I did that the hours. I make sure that I'm there, picking her up school, attending her school events and stuff. Sex. Like, make sure you communicate sex, family, faith, like boundaries, share and highlight a non-negotiable versus preference. Make sure you are transparent. Words you can use here are the rules. I realize that I'm quietly enforcing. So maybe you can say, which of these feel fair? Which feel heavy to you? What for? Watch for sneaky absolutes, always, never, must. That creates breathless. So make sure that you both communicate clearly and both are transparent with whatever you're doing, the culture, everything. Like audit ROI, your mindset. What this matters, like treat love like an investment with the expected returns breeds resentment and fear and of loss. When you treat love like an investment and you expect breeds in return. So just try to journal prompts like, where do I totally what I give? Where do I expect a specific payback? What would generosity look like if nothing comes back today? Then choose one act this week that is freely given. Because words you can use, I'm catching my return on investment. Thoughts, like if it's your thoughts, I want to give this because it aligns with who I am, not to endpoints. Watch for martyrdom, like forgiving isn't self-erosion, it's include boundaries. So like I said, guys, I'm not sure if you watch my video, life is a trade. If you go to the realm of the spirit, there is nothing, spirit, there is nothing, everything you do is a trade. If you hate someone, it's a trade. If you love someone, what are you trading that love for? Are you trading love for natural love just because you love that person or you have expectations in return? What are you trading for? Everything is a trade, whether you like it or not. People seems to think that like in the physically, this is what we are and this ends there. What you are in the physically, in the spirit, everything is recorded. So it's a trade. Life is a trade. If they are like if when I say life is a trade, like people in the occult. If an occultic person give you a gift, that gift is not free. It's not free. If they cook food, like it's not free. I'll explain that one day. If they cook food, if you come to their home, they cook food for you. You eat. It means you cannot fight the table that is feeding you. in the realm of the spirit. If you are like have a relationship with someone who's an occultic, whether they are your friend, whether they are whatever your work colleague, if they feed you, they give you gifts. That gift, it means you cannot fight. You cannot win the battle from someone that is feeding you. So it means they can defeat you. If they fight you in the if they fight you in the realm of the spirit, they can defeat you, make your life a living hell in the realm of the spirit. They can cause poverty and defeat you. So that's why I'm saying life is a trade. But some people, they don't have that knowledge. Let's say celebrities, the celebrities that say they've sold their soul. If they have families or they have funds where they give things for free, it means you can't fight them. When they come to fight you in the spirit, you can't fight, you can't win that battle. You cannot fight, win the battle. Anything that is feeding you cannot win that battle in the physical you can. And that's why too many people end up in depression and go to the doctors with the depression. So wherever you go, anybody that gives you food, make sure you know them very well. Don't just eat it from any table. This is something that I had no idea myself. Don't just eat it from any table. Don't. It's for another video, guys. So that's why let's go back to the relation. Everything is a trade. Relationship is a trade. When you meet someone, you're looking for love. You're trading your heart. You're trading your heart, your wealth, to their wealth. You're saying, I'll love you till I die. I'm trading my beauty, my wealth, my all in all, what God created me to be. I'm now trading it, sharing it with this person. So everything is a trade. But it does not have to be a business contract. When you love someone, nowadays the relationship don't work because it's all what do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? I've just graduated, so that can add to my resume when I'm looking for love. What do you bring to my table? But what we don't understand is, guys, people who don't have degrees, they are smart. Just because there are people who don't have degrees that will build empires. I'm a matchmaker. So as a matchmaker, when someone comes to me, they're looking for love. The first thing, if they're earning 100 grand a year, they make it very, very clear that, sir, I'm not willing to negotiate to someone who earns 60 grand a year. I'm not willing to date someone who earns 60 grand a year. They can either earn more than me or they can earn a similar amount as me. They got to have a home. I have a home. Do they have a home? Then we can negotiate in that part. You will be surprised what people request when it comes to love. You will be surprised. If I have masters, I want to date someone who has masters. That's what they say. By PhD, you got to find me someone who has a PhD. Some, they don't mind. They tell you, no, sir, find me a woman with 4 Bs. Who's got brain, beauty. Beauty comes from within, guys. Yeah, hobbies. Some men, they don't mind. They don't go like, okay, I've got PhD, I need a woman. They say, no, mister, give me a woman who has hobbies. You go and search. That means they're looking for love. So that's what happened. But everyone is entitled for what they're entitled, guys. So we can't say blame people. So do an attachment X-ray as well. Number 4. What this matters, anxiety avoidance, disorganized patterns of distinguish themselves, contract to feel safe. Try this with your partner. Write one page. Attachment user manual. What suits me? What triggers me? How I tend to protest, what I need in return, exchange and discuss. Because we live in this world that is very, very stressful. So we need to be aware when we are stressed, we need to be aware. For me, I divorced stress and anxiety during lockdown. I put my hands up and I said to myself, you stress, you anxiety, as from today, I divorce you. I don't want you in my life. The reason why is because I had to learn to have gratitude with life. When I look at my children, even if I'm going through something, but when I look at my children, when I look at the home that I have, someone else does not have a home. Someone wants children, but they don't have children. I have children. I have a home. So whenever I've got problems, I look at things that I'm grateful of. My life. Life is a gift. Breathing each day is a gift. Because if we were to go to the hospital, someone else is being told they are dying. Someone else is being told they have 6 months to live. Some people, they have different problems. So if I have those problems, I have to look at them and say, you know what? I'm so grateful. And during COVID as well, that's when I made a decision. When the numbers were being counted on television, millions and millions and people dying, I am one of those people that survived. My children are one of those people that survived. Their fathers are one of those people that survived. So that's when I made a decision that day that the stress I will no longer associate with you. I will no longer associate with stress. I don't allow myself to get stressed. If if my business does not work out how I want, I can't change. There are things that I can change, but there are things that I cannot change. All I have to do is find a solution. That's what happens in relationship, guys, because when it comes to relationship, people get stressed with things that are not necessary. We get stressed because we have these big expectations of the contract that we have. That those expectations, even us, we cannot provide, but we expect somebody else to provide those expectations from us. When they don't do what we want, they are no longer good. I'm going to divorce this one because it's no longer, the contract is no longer doing what I want them to do. But if a man is not abusive, respects you, because all you need in a relationship, guys, is someone who honors you, who respects you. They might not be the same like you, because when it comes to relationship with friends, We look at our friends and we want exactly what they have. But is the picture what we see? What we actually behind the scenes? We don't know what the truth of what happened behind the scenes. We don't. So then that's when I'm going to come now and judge my spouse and say, you know what, my husband, you are not good enough, because what I see when my friends post on Facebook, they are holding hands, they go out, they have meals, they even take their meals when they are eating, they take their pictures. We don't do that. So that means, my husband, this contract has to end because you are not good enough. You see, the business has the contract. That's why I'm saying everything is business. It has to end. Everything has to end. So then in the relationship, it gets affected because I'm comparing my life with somebody else, what I see on social media, the clothes that people wear. You see, my husband does not. What does your husband give you? Mine does not do that. He doesn't buy me clothes. Go buy clothes yourself. People are different, guys. Completely different. They are raised, the mindset is different. So we can't expect someone to behave like, I can't expect the person that I'm dating to behave like my friend's husband. The reason why is we are all individual, guys. When we grow up, that's why we get given names. That's why we have our bloodline names, because we're different. But they all know, if you don't satisfy my business contract, honey, you're gone. That's what life is nowadays. So I'm giving you food for thought, guys. Truly food for thought. And then number 5 is surface your money with scripts, with work script. Why is this matter? Financial anxiety is easily converted love into debt and credit. I've gone through financial debt myself when I was going through pain with Lucifer. I got tortured. Everything that I tried, it was blocked. Everything was blocked. So I've gone through that, where my spouse ended up seeing me as an unworthy woman. Unworthy, she's unworthy. But if we were to, if he had, if he was actually a caring man, truly caring, because this is what when Satan came to me and said, I will turn people around you against you, I said, no, you won't. Because I myself, you have tried to turn me against my friends, but I haven't turned against them. So if that person truly loves me, truly loves me, their character, they will know their character, they are caring. So when it comes to finances, guys, it means it's a team. You sit down, write your script together. It's not about business, but it's a caring script. The mindset has to be different. For me, I already seen my future. Am I gonna own a house one day? I will own my own estate. That is if I work towards what I saw. So I had already seen my future. I'd already known my future, what my life is gonna look like. But because sometimes the people, they don't understand that when it comes to life, guys, if I'm dating someone and judge them, you see, everything, the energy has to align. If the energy is no longer aligning, is being pulled, the relationship will not work. If I'm thinking, looking at my husband and thinking that I am better than my husband, it cannot align, whether I like it in the realm of the spirit, because everything is spiritual, whether we like it or not. If in the physically I'm looking at the men that I'm dating and I'm thinking I'm better than them, I'm educated, you know. He's not educated. So why do you expect the relationship to work? Because this is the energy. It doesn't agree with each other. When it comes to finances, if this one, maybe she's good with money and that one is not good with the money, there's pulling, there's no agreement, it will not align. So everything has to be in alignment. Everything has to be in alignment. For me, alignment, it means a relationship is not a trade. Love is love. For what I want, I have to go and work for it. Love is not a trade. Love is not a business, sorry. A relationship is not a business. It's not a business contract where I will look at how much I earn, how much do I bring, how much big holidays do I go to. That's what people do nowadays. I got to go on big holidays. I got to post on social media. Most of relationships are being destroyed because we want the whole world to see how much money we have, how much big holidays we go to. It's not educational, guys. When I say to, when I post about like when I post about the challenges that I faced when I have breakthrough, people don't like it. But they like it when I post something like, look at me, what I'm wearing. If I go and take a picture and pay a photographer to take me a professional picture and put it on Facebook, and I'm looking so glamorous. Oh yes, I'm now speaking everyone's language because they like it, they love it. They're not on social media to learn. Some people, they are just there to say, look at me. Look at me, what me and my husband, the contract that we have. But when you go to their home, they're not even talking. That's why relationships sometimes don't work because it's a business contract. So try to spending like write down all these things like name maybe top 3 money beliefs learned in childhood and how those beliefs show up in the relationship. Love equals providing, maybe you can write that. Spending is care, fragility is respect. Words you can use when you spend on date. I feel secure. When you save, uh, you feel respected. How can we honor both? Watch for shame. Money talk needs gentleness and private. Watch those kind of things. For me, the only problem that guys, and the other thing and the advice that I will give you is when you are in a relationship with someone, you don't go and talk about them to your family. I've had those problems where sometimes I'm dating a guy and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And when you try to talk to someone, they're not talking to you, but they go to their family to shame you for their family to feel sorry for them. They talk about you. And the family is like, leave, it's not worth. like I was going through human blood sacrifice, and every month finances it was tough. But instead of me like trying to communicate with this guy, let's talk and let's do this, he's not interested in comforting our relationship, but he wants to go and talk about it to his family. So because this family, they don't know the background of everything, they're like, you leave her. But what people did not understand, when you go through human blood sacrifice, the person that you date, they get affected. So he was getting affected. I was getting affected. All we needed was to fight together. Is the togetherness. When I've learned this, that it was for me to defeat this Satan, it was me coming with my spouse as one, fighting the fight to say, no, you cannot separate us. But because people don't know that, I became the woman that is not worthy. But I like it now. I can talk about it. I can talk about it. I love it because it's an experience that I have learned myself. That the togetherness is important in a relationship. When you're dating someone, when you get married to someone, to sit down, guys, and I used to see my grandmother, like my parents divorced. And when they divorced my dad, my mom made it very clear to my father that listen, witness, my father is called witness. I was 9 months or 8 months when they divorced. When I came to you, I didn't have kids. And I don't have my own home. You have your own home. Your father has a home. So you are going to look after your children while I go back to school. When you met me, I was a beautiful woman who did not have 3 kids. So now, if you feel that I'm not good enough, you going to look after your kids while I go to school. I'm not taking my children to my mother's home for my mother to look after your children. Your mother and my grandmother was like, I look after the kids. So we stayed with my dad. My grandmother looked after us while my mom and my dad are very, very smart parents. My mom went and did the fashion designer. And my dad was a teacher. And we stay with my grandmother. And I see everything that my grandmother did. She will make sure she tells my dad everything about us. Communications, finances, what is needed. She will make sure that everything, she'll sit down with my dad and make communicate and communicate. And in that way, I've learned that communication is important. Even when I was like 4 years old or 5 years old or 6 years old, my grandmother would sit down there and be communicating with me like an adult. And that's why I do matchmaking, because I learned from my family the power of family, the power of communicating, how important it is to actually value your husband, how the importance of valuing your children. My children, my youngest daughter, she's 10, and my youngest one, she's 18, my oldest one, she's 18. If you tell them off, you got to explain to, if you shout, my children will look at you like, are you okay? Because they're not used to it. But sometimes I forget and then I shout and they look at me, they're like, Mommy, are you okay? Can you explain what you want from us? Because they want you to explain what are your expectations from them. Like that's the relationship. That's how the relationship should be. If we, instead of treating it as a business contract, have your own values, your beliefs and everything, your goals and everything. Communicate your expectations with the unconditional mindset, love mindset. That's how, in order for a relationship to work, because when it becomes a business contract, guys, it will not work. The relationship will not work. I don't care whether you are a relationship coach or you are what, it will not work. So for a relationship to work, it has to have care in it. It has to have the boundaries. It has the expectations has to have to be communicated clearly. Right? What do you expect your husband? What kind of help do you need from your husband? What kind of a help do you need from your wife for this relationship to work? Don't trade merely for sex. Your husband is your husband. Your wife is your wife. Make love with grace, with joy, natural. Whether your husband, your wife has got a big tummy, whether your wife has put on weight because of giving birth to the children, make love in the light, not in the dark. Admire your wife, admire your husband. Love your wife, admire them no matter what shape they are. Admire your husband no matter what shape they are. Whoever they become in that process, the gratitude is all that matters. If I was to say Satan, call Satan on earth and say he's here anyway, he's always on earth. If I was to call him and say judge every marriage, he would take everyone to hell because the people don't understand what love is. We treating love as a trade. If you can't give me this, that means you're not good enough to be my husband. My husband has to give me this. It's not that joy, that unity where, okay, get to know my world. We support each other. We are there for each other. We enjoy life. Even if we don't have money to go on a holiday, we can just go with local holidays and just have fun. We no longer that the social media is taken over. I'm looking forward to how AI is gonna take over now. Because people they just get hooked. So at the moment I'm looking at AI. How is it gonna take over love? Some people they just gonna date AIs. Trust me. And I hope God stops all that. And that's what love is becoming in some cases. Check power, privileges, invisible labors. Why this matters, contract appear when power is in balance. We were talking about that as well, power on Tuesday with Carol Annie and Shireen. You can go and check that video. Imbalance is unseen labor. Mentally load, go and load. Try this, create a new column, visible versus invisible labor. Inventory planning, remember emotionally caretaking. Redistribute with capacity and season of love in mind. Words you can use, I handle most of remembrance. I need share system. So this isn't tied to my mood or energy. Watch the token of swords I did. So we do aim for famous over similar. So that is important in your relationship. Number 7, establish a set baseline. Why this matter? Without a regulation, nervous system, every come becomes negotiations or defense. Like try this, you can stop the words like pause, rituals, blue light, like it means breathe, reset. You can pray, it's important, like breathe on a heartbeat for 20 seconds. Ways you can use blue light, let's pause, come back in time. I want to connect more to victory. If you're fighting is not about winning, it's not about who wins the fight. It's just about the like connection. A husband and wife, they're connecting together. And then clarity, number 8. I think I'm gonna stop here, guys, because I've got exams that I need to submit today. So I got to go and do that. Share clarity, shared values. Why this matter? Values prevent every decision from becoming a transaction. So try this independently. Rank your top 5 relationship values. Faith, kindness, adventure, stability, and honesty. My faith, guys, is really, really important. Being with people that are kind is really, really important. Me, I don't just speak kindness. I've met people that is say they love a family, but they go and do opposite else, something else. For me, I'm very, very close to my family. I lost my dad 2005, and I lost my stepdad in 2004. And I've got siblings. My mom, she's alive. My family to me, everything is important. If I'm dating someone, their family is important to me. My children's family are important. I want my children to grow up knowing they have family. I want my family are important too. So this is the values that are important when I'm dating someone. Family values are important. I don't just speak it. With my family, we don't just invite each other for dinner. I look after my family. My siblings will tell you that Nomsa, even not my siblings, my bloodline. Anyone in my bloodline will tell you that Nomsa does not, I don't get involved, guys, in gossip. My bloodline is my bloodline. Anyone that carries my same name in my family, anyone that carries my mother's same name, they are my world. I don't take side either. I don't get involved in crap. So when I'm dating someone, I do not expect that person to involve me in nonsense. I don't get involved. Family to me is everything. Everything. When I was looking after my father-in-law, Lucifer came back, Satan came back to me and said, and ancestors, that you cared for him, that we will turn your family against you, his family against you. I said, no, you're wrong. You will not turn his family against me. Because everything that I have done, I did not do them for them. I did it for me and God and my children. Love is natural. So I said to Satan, you can do whatever you want. I'm a woman who, when I say I love someone, to me, I mean it. Love to me, it means until I die. It means that I will take a bullet for you. I will not trade you for anything. I will take a bullet for you. It means that I will defend you. When family talk about you, I will stand and defend you. When family says you are not good enough, when your friends says that you are not good enough, I will stand and I will defend you. When Satan wants to take your life, I will stand and I will defend you. That's what love for me, that's what it means. It doesn't mean that buy me clothes. When you buy me clothes, it means you're good enough. For me, love goes deep. I don't know what love means to you, so that's why, guys, it's very, very, very important. When you date a guy, make sure it aligns with your beliefs. What do you believe about love? What is love to you? Remember, I just described my love. Yours might be different. So when yours is different, make sure it aligns with what you are looking for. That guy that you date, it has to align with what that guy is. I've had to learn that the hard way. I've learned that when Satan was torturing me. I said, no, you can torture me when it comes to love in my relationship. You can torture me. But I stand in truth. As I stand in truth, my love does not come from any space of something. It comes from a space of God. It comes from the true love of God. When I love someone, I'll do anything for them, but I will not tolerate nonsense. Love does not involve nonsense, guys. There are some people who are in a relationship, they take so much nonsense, they take whatever, they get into depression and things like that. Love is simple, very, very, very simple. Keep it very simple. When a man slaps you, that's not love. When a man disrespects you, that's not love. That's not love. When you have children, I don't argue with my children because to me, I don't have time for nonsense. When a child is throwing tantrums, it means to me they want to be left alone. Until they finish, then I go back to them. I don't. When my daughter turned 16, it was in those moments where parents argue with their children, they do this, they do that. But I wasn't arguing with my daughter. My daughter came back to me and said, Mommy, how come when I do this, you don't do that? And I said, what am I supposed to be doing? Am I supposed to argue with you? I've taught you family values. So when you don't follow those family values, means you have to correct yourself, not me having to stress myself. I've raised you. Do you know what it means to give birth, to carry a child? You give birth to them, you look after them, and then when they're 18 and you argue with them. I don't do that, guys. I don't do that because where I am today, my parents, my mom never argued with me when I was growing up. My dad never told me off or argued with me. He got married, he had his wife. My mom had a husband. Explain the rules. These are the family values. These are expectations from you. And when someone is so nice, guys, and so kind, and they sit down, they tell you their expectations, they don't stress you, they don't do anything as a child. When you go out, you do something wrong, you feel guilty and you don't do it. You don't. I never did anything, whatever, because I knew that my parents they will not hit me, but they will not be pleased. So all those things are important, guys. The values, when you enter a relationship, you need to communicate them clearly. My auntie used to say, when a man is a snake, a relationship will not work. I couldn't understand what she meant. When a woman is a snake, the relationship will not work. When there is a snake in the family, the family will not stay together. They will be torn apart. I could not understand what she meant. What she meant was when you are when you are married in a relationship, don't talk, don't go outside. You're married and talk to your friends about your wife. It means you are a snake. Because this wife that you have at home, she doesn't know what is going on. But you go and talk about her. This is when people will start judging your wife. And then you as a husband, there won't be unity because the people will come between you and the relationship, and that relationship will be broken. If the wife is a snake, it means that they don't talk to their husband about the relationship, communicate, they go and talk to their friends. The frustration, they go and talk to their parents, mother, siblings. And then because these people, they love you so much, they will then going to make comments. And those comments are then going to come between you and your relationship because the guy is innocent, he does not know anything, and now the relationship now is falls apart. And that's why I think BBC said 70% of relationship in the United Kingdom are destroyed by mother-in-laws and in-laws, siblings, and everybody. And that is true. Even in Africa, people can't help it. They do the same. They interfere with the relationships. And the relationship don't last. They break contract, business contract. They become a business contract. You know, son, or you know, daughter, you're educated, you know. Why would you hang out with this guy that if you're not happy? But it's not, maybe it's not the guy. Maybe the girl does not know how to communicate, but she's blaming the guy. Maybe the man doesn't know how to communicate. He's blaming the woman. So in God, when it comes to relationship, God is all about communication. Unfortunately, in the Bible, is a communication. Relationship, God stresses the communication because in order for you, like for me, if I need to be closer to God, I need to communicate. So he stresses, the Bible stresses communication is the critical component of how your relationship is able to work and working as a team. Because when there is no team, in a relationship, the relationship breaks. It breaks. So you have to make sure that there is a good, solid foundation of love. For me, I don't allow, I've got friends, guys. I don't allow my friends, I don't communicate about my spouse to my friends. I don't. They only hear when I split up with someone, that's when they hear. But I never communicate because I don't want my friends to disrespect my spouse, my husband. I don't want them to do that. So it's important when you're dating someone, communicating is key in that relationship. Whether we like it or not, our expectations, we need to communicate our expectations. What do we expect in this relationship? Communicate it. Love has to be freedom. Love has to be all about freedom. People don't understand. I have, like, Hope's dad turned around and said, Nomsa, I didn't get you when I was dating you, but now I get you. And I said, what do you get now? He said, you are a nightmare, but you get things done. Guys, I'm a nightmare. When I want to fix something, I don't want you telling me stories. I don't want you telling me what I didn't do, what I didn't do. I don't want you telling me whether I'm good enough or I'm not good enough. I want to solve problems, and that's it. I'm not interested with you telling me how bad I am, what the stories, that stories, what I did not do, or how good enough. I'm not interested in it. All I'm interested is how can I save you as a woman? How can I be better in your life? How can I better give a better life to my children? How can I be as a woman, save you and be a better woman? That's what I'm interested in. I'm not interested in what you did yesterday, what you didn't do. I'm not interested in it. But people he could not understand it. That's how I was raised. Like, how can you be so happy? I'm like, I am so happy because I grew up in Africa where there is nothing. Food, when you have food, it means you're worth billions. That's my life. So for me, if I'm dating someone or if I'm in a relationship, I don't want no stories, guys. I don't want you telling me what I did not do, what you did not do. I just want to sit down, build a life with you. Building that life, is it going to be perfect? No, it's not. It's not going to be perfect. I'm a human being. I'm bound to make mistakes. So I don't want no stories of expecting me to be perfect. When we have problems, I don't want you expecting me to go under the pillow and feel sorry for myself, because that's not how it works. When I have problems, for me, I go to God. And that's why I love him so much. So he couldn't understand. He said, no, sir, I couldn't get you, but now I do. And I said, what took you so long? If I want to solve problems for my daughter, you tell me stories. I'm not interested in stories. I want to get things done. I'm not interested why my relationship did not work with you. Why were you a bad father? What? I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in that moment. When I need you to sign the forms, you sign them. When I need you to go to the meeting, you go to the meeting. So I'm not a woman. Maybe I'm mad, I don't know. But I just don't want to be caught up in stories. I want to be caught up in love. And I want to face whatever challenges that you bring to my life. I want to face them gracefully. I don't want to be caught up in love. Who did what? That one did what? That one. I don't want that. Yeah. So that's who I am. I don't know you guys, whatever contract you guys have for me. If you say, Nomsa, I'm signing this marriage for you to be my wife, you got to be the man of authority. Man of authority, I come from a royal family, guys. We have leadership skills, natural. We are born is in the blood. It means when you are a man, you have to know what you're doing. As a man, you got to know what you're doing. Are you my protector? Are you my armor? Because I don't want a guy that is going to annoy me. I'm not sure about you women if you're watching my talk show. I don't want that. So that's why the business contract for me, it wouldn't work. So I'm sharing this with you guys because all I'm saying to you, when it comes to relationship, you have to know what do you want when it comes to love and communicate with that person. Know from the beginning, you will know when you are dating someone, is this relationship going to work between me and this person, or is not going to work? For me, that's who I am. At the time, there were some people who could not understand. My ex could not understand. He couldn't get it. When we have problems, I don't go under the pillow and I don't want to. I want to talk about it, but I don't want to talk about it in a way that he feels sorry for himself or I feel sorry for myself. I want to talk about it to comfort each other. But at the same time, what is the way forward to solve this problem? Don't tell me no stories. And the way forward for me, guys, is God. I have to go and pray to God. I have to accept the problem and go and pray to God to show me the solution. How do I solve this problem that is bigger than mine? Because if I can't solve something, it means it needs God. So that's how I deal with things. As a woman, I put my husband's needs. I will put my needs before yours, but when it comes to God, God will always come first in our relationship. Is the contract, the values that I have. And the reason why is in my journey of life, there were times where the world didn't make sense, but it was only Him who made sense into my life, who came and made that world make sense. When I was young, my parents were divorcing. The angel of God was always there looking after me, making sure. That's why I always say to people, my children are protected. Sometimes I'll sit there and I'll be talking, and my dad will be like, what did this woman give birth to? I'll be talking like an adult and chatting because the angel of God is there guiding me through, telling me what is going on. And then my dad became to understand this is the child that my my ex gave birth to. So I'm going to have to coach everything that I do. It was my dad and my stepmother. And now I'm here creating my own life for my children's life, their future and my future. And as a man, you have to be a man with authority, not a man that brings a business contract. I come from a royal family. It means in my blood, I inherited my mother's blood, my mother's spirit, and I inherited my father's blood. A child inherited their father's spirit, their mother's spirit, and then they inherit their father's blood. So it means my family, my parents are smart. So I know my identity and I love God. God is the creator of the earth. So when can I go wrong? I can have a degree. But when it comes to God, God is my PhD, is my all in all. So if God has to give me a man, He gives me a man with authority, a man that does not control me. Because for me to get to think what I'm doing, I have to have a clear mind. So maybe I'm sharing this with you guys. Maybe you are dating that kind of a woman, or you are dating that kind of a man, and constantly you are knocking that person. When somebody like me, when you are actually knocking them, they don't think, they just want you to get out of their way. They can't think. Like myself, I need my own space. I need to think. I need to think. So if you are a man, you say, no, sir, I wanna be with you. I wanna spend the rest of my life with you. You have a degree, it doesn't work with me. You have whatever money, it doesn't work with me. All of that works. I need a man who's got brain, who thinks, who has authority in his mind. Who is my protector? The armor. I have the armor of God, but that armor of God needs to be protected. Who is my protector? My architect. When I bring my when I bring my ideas, I don't want you to look at me as someone who what does Nomsa bring to the table. I need you to work with me. Or, honey, you can do this. You can do this. But if you are that man and that soul, you can't do that. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do this. We won't get along. So you can evaluate, guys, your relationship. What I'm leaving with you today, I'm going to do part 2 of this topic tomorrow. What I leave with you guys is to evaluate the woman you are dating. Not in a negative way, but in a very, very positive way. To actually evaluate, I forgot to share the video. Evaluate what kind of a woman am I dating? Because if I was to ask, like, interview people, the women that they are dating and the men that they are dating, they wouldn't be able to actually get it right of what do you think this woman is as a person. I'm not talking about anything else. I'm just talking about describing the person as they are, because that is very, very, very important um to know your spouse really, really well, to say, you know what, my spouse is smart. Like when I was dating my ex, he could not understand how smart me. I'm very, very smart, because when I speak through the angel of God, it means is not my intelligent. That is God is intelligent. So that's why most of the time people get to know me on social media, but when I meet them, because I go quiet, I'm really sussing them what they are and what they do. And most of the time they end up talking about themselves, because the angel of God wants them to communicate with me so I can help them and give them some words of encouragement. Sometimes I give someone words of encouragement and I move away and then they are healed, just like that. So to me, that is really, really important. I don't talk about myself a lot. So that's why sometimes people get confused that this Nomsa that you know, but she's not smart, but I am smart. I know that. But that intelligence is not mine. It comes from God. It comes from God. Me, when I meet people, I observe my mind. I observe what is going on. What are they telling me? What are they not telling me? But most of the time, people don't get it right about myself. So that's why I silent myself. So it's important, guys, to evaluate the men you're dating. What is it, this guy that you're dating? This woman that you're dating, who is she? What makes her be? And also, when you ask those questions, is to bring the best out of that person. It's not for fun. It's just to bring out how can I able to help this person, is to evaluate who they are, analyze who they are, bring the best in them. Bring the best. Bring the best in that person. When I talk about the things, the challenges that I went through, people, they feel sorry for me, but I've gone over them. Now I just come out and helping people to understand that problems don't define who you are. Just because you've got problems, it doesn't mean you can go into depression. Problems means you are a soldier of your own life. When they are presented to you, they are presented to you for you to become the best, the greatest, not to feel sorry for yourself or to feel like, why me? When that challenge relationship, like when you bring pain, it is meant to present the best, because when people get married, they get comfortable. So it's meant to shake you up, bring the best. When you sit down and communicate with your husband, your husband bring the best in you, and you bring the best out of them. You bring out the real them. So, guys, may God bless you. If you're watching Ngosi Talk Shows on YouTube, please do subscribe to our channel. And on Facebook, do follow us on Facebook. God bless you guys. Live with grace. I need to go and open the door.